Hi,
Hi,
Chris.
Rachel.
How are you?
How are you?
I'm doing great. So, sorry, one of my favorite things about this show is as the granddaughter of Italians is watching a show like this, and every time they're like, we have to stop the Italians, we have to go to the Italians. It's like looking at Giancarlo Esposito, who I know is Italian, but
Yeah.
it makes me think he's sitting there like they don't know I'm one of them.
Yeah.
Like for you, when you're creating a show that is so very New York, but also talks about like New York back when it was kind of the wars of the Italians, the Irish, the black people, everything that happened in New York at that time. What for you is like the most important part about making it as authentically New York, but to each of those communities as possible?
Well, that's a great question. And I'm half Italian, and I often pit one group against the Italians because it's fun drama, really. And so, for me, the show attempts to represent. Look, I wasn't there for conversations between Chin Gigante and Bumpy Johnson, so those have to be imagined and created in the context of the show. So, what I seek to do is make it feel as authentic as possible, whether or not the characters actually met and said those things. So that's really the goal, and that's a combination of researching the time period and what they actually did do. It's a product of discussion with Forrest Whitaker about the scenes and Vincent D'Onofrio, who plays Chin. So this season, we're going to see that Chin ends up taking a powder, as it were, like he leaves New York and essentially leaves control of the family to his daughter, played by Lucy Fry. And so we're going to watch some stuff that's it's almost grabbed from other mob stories in Italy and transposed to New York. So look, the main goal is to create something that's really fun to watch and entertaining. So that's what we do.
Well, yeah, and I love that, Vincent D'Onofrio is now making a name for himself as a New Yorker in these like New York mob roles. Like he's got two, but if I had a nickel for every time, it was weird it happened twice. But I love seeing him and Forrest Whitaker kind of go head to head because those are two actors who are just so good at everything they do. When you are working, like you said, working on those scenes with Vincent or working on them with Forrest, what for you is like the biggest joy of getting to kind of craft these characters and work with these actors and see where they want to take these characters, these people that you're telling their story, but you've kind of made your own version of them.
Well, it'll usually involve in certain scenes, particularly ones that involve heavy conflict between them. I'll speak to both of the actors the day before we're shooting, or even on the morning we're shooting, and ask them if they have any questions about the scene. Vincent will sometimes, an actor will say to you, "Hey, I think I would." I don't think I would go in this direction. Here's the direction I think I might go in, which will then uh, require me to do some rewriting. But that happens pretty rarely. I mean, mostly it's just a discussion with those guys about what their particular attitudes are in the scene, and then you kind of like wind them up and let them go. They've done this before, both those guys. So it's just fun to watch, and then in editing, you have different choices of what shots you're going to use, and invariably these guys give you incredible choices.
Well, I cannot wait for everyone else to get to see season four. And thank you so much for talking with me today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. And yes, season four introduces Frank Lucas as
I
a
know. I'm
character
so
Genzende.
excited.
So I think people will enjoy that. Thank
I
you very much, Rachel.
have a
Appreciate
good
it.
one.